Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Halloween. I hope you're having or you had a great day depending on where you're watching this show from. My name is Denise Belisle and I'm a serenity expert and positive intelligence specialist. And today is Halloween in America. If you're watching overseas, I know some places don't celebrate Halloween. And that's why, you got the crazy hair and the crazy makeup. And I have two amazing guests today, Monica and Yo. And we're going to have a lot of fun just being our magnificent self and bringing some great lightning and things in life so that we can have a great show. And I hope you will enjoy it too. So the reason I call this show It's All Good, look who's here for a chat, is because first of all, it's my favorite cup. You see, it's orange, goes with my hair. It's all good because that's something I say all the time. It's all good. Regardless if it's something that happened 2 minutes ago or 5 seconds ago or even 5 years ago, it's all good because I can't change it. There's not much I can do about that. And if it's something in the future that I'm planning and worrying and anticipating, and you know what? I say, well, it's all good. I'm planning as much as I can, but whatever happened because it is life and you don't know, you don't have the predictability of what can happen. So today I have Yo. She's a joy igniter. So you'll see she loves laughing. She loves having a lot of fun. And Monica, she calls herself also amazing lady. She is a genius activator. So we have a joy igniter and a genius activator and a serenity expert. We'll see what kind of mix that can do. So without any further delay, I will welcome my guest to the floor. So here's Monica. Oh, no, that's not a picture. That's Monica. So that's Monica and that's Yo, part of our show today. And I'm so excited to have you here, ladies. Welcome. Thank you for playing with
Hey,
me.
happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
I'm so happy to have you here, girl. And I love Monica's costume and Yo's red and black costume. And this is so awesome. Yeah, that's the perfect pause, Monica. That's going to be the pause of the day. You know, you can do it. That's super cool. So I'll have you introduce yourself, lady, and tell us a little bit who you are, where you're from, and why you are what you are. So I'll start with you, Yo. She's a joy igniter. So tell us a little bit more about that and a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, joy igniter means that I bring the joy. Like some kind of way when I open my mouth, people just automatically smile. So energy producer, joy igniter, and hence the clown because I am also the best lame joke teller ever. So I bring the humor and the fun. Therefore, I'm the clown for the day.
Awesome. That's cool. And Monica, the genius activator. So tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and what you do.
All right. Well, I'm Monica Henderson, and I believe that we can do it together. I am the founder and creator of an ecosystem to support entrepreneurs, thought leaders, change makers, coaches. And the entire thing is a collaborative learning community. So this We Can Do It is not just a costume, but it is a lifestyle. And we do that all the time. And so when I thought of what costume I should be for the show today, I thought, who better than the amazing Rosie the Riveter, who had the battle cry for all of the women when the men went off to the war, for them to come and support by getting in the trenches, building the businesses, running things, and being badass women, because that's what we do. We really come in and we make things work.
Woo! I love it. This is awesome. Woohoo, lady. So that's amazing. So yes, we can do it. We're three very powerful women here, and we're all activators in our own ways. And I'm super happy to have you here. So, we got some stuff in the chat here. So we got like, wow, you are beautiful. I guess some people were not expecting to see us in our Halloween grandeur today. So, merci beaucoup, Micheline. Je suis contente que tu apprécies nos costumes. Micheline speaks French, so that's why, I have to say a little hello. And so let's talk about the beauty of being yourself every day. So how do you propose and encourage people to be yourself every day?
It's not as easy as it sounds, because I think a lot of people struggle with knowing who they are in the first place. At least that's what I did. I would swear I would put my mom's life on me thinking I was the most real person ever, and I spoke the truth, and I might be brutally honest, but and when I really started doing the internal work, I realized that was not true. I was not who I am today because I did not know who I was until today. And it's still a continuing work in progress. So I think in order for people to be themselves, they have to realize, they have to start asking the question, who am I? Then who do I want to be? Those kind of things. What do I want to have? What do I want to do in my life? Once you start answering them and living that truth, then you are being yourself. And until then, you wonder, who are you being?
So how do you feel that people should start to really know who they are?
Realize one thing I used to tell people is start with that list I just suggested. Take some time to write down, who do I want to be? What do I want to do? What would I like to have? And then start taking actionable steps towards getting those things and being that person. But then also, for me, I was one of those people pleasers. And I have to ask myself that if there's a time I would have said no and I did not say no, why didn't I say no? What exactly was I gaining by giving to the other person that I'm taking from myself? So I would just get people to start questioning your intentions. Whatever you're doing, are you doing it because it's what you really want to do? Or are you doing it because you feel like you need to? You always have been, it's habit or whatever. But just start questioning yourself, questioning your motives and why you do what you do. That's the first thing I would suggest people do. And write that list of what do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have?
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, that's very powerful. I hope you guys took notes. And if you couldn't write it down right away, I suggest to come to the replay and then pause and write and pause and write. And that's the beauty of the replay. So you can always pause and come back. But in the meantime, I'm glad you're all here. So don't be shy to say hello. Put some stuff in the chat. We're happy to have you here. And so we can share and have fun together. So now, Monica, being the Genius Activator. So tell me, Monica, how do you help people get activated in their own genius?
Yes. So part of it is kind of what Yo said, right? Is being yourself every day. So often we have tried to fit our genius into how other people want to receive them, and we don't actually get to explore what our true genius is. But the easiest way to figure out what your genius is to think about all the things that you do. Everything you do for yourself, for your business or your job or whatever it is. Think about all of those things and think about what are the parts of it that you absolutely love and you can do over and over and over and over and over again and never get tired of it. Those things that actually are in your genius wheelhouse. And if you can spend some time exploring those skill sets and how you can kind of bring those forward and offer those to the world, then you'll start tapping into that actual genius. But it does require you knowing yourself and knowing what you like and what you don't like, regardless of whether or not if someone else likes that about you or not.
Wow. Funny noise.
Unapologetically. Yeah.
Well, I think that's very powerful because what I heard from the two of you is in order to be successful, being, activated by, finding your genius or be yourself every day. I mean, the first step is really to know yourself, to really get to question yourself about what do I like? What do I want? How do I want to live my life? And what are the things that are controlling me? Like, for example, for me, I work with the saboteurs and mental fitness. And so there's a saboteur assessment, and that assessment tells you if you're a pleaser, if you're an avoider, if you're a victim, if you're a controller, an hyperachiever, like the main trait of your character. And doing different type of assessment like that, I think it helps us really have a different picture of who we are, that we often don't see ourselves right off the bat. So doing these assessments really good. Like I just did the VIA strength assessment last week, just because I do it every once in a while. The results pretty much always the same, but it's fun. It's a good thing. Well, I haven't changed that much in the way of my quality, but it's good to do sometimes some assessment or talking to a coach and having someone mirroring, right, who we are, what we do, so that we have a better perspective. So what is your what would be your client's path into working with you? So how would you get your clients to start working with you? What can they expect when they start being around you?
Well, my clients, my niche is I focus on people who have identified themselves as alcoholics or addicts. They struggle with substance abuse or
Yeah.
the mental health issues that got them there. And
Mhm.
so the reason they would work with me is because I speak on and I work within experience. I'm not a mental health counselor. Yes, I've been to rehab, but I have lived the life that my clients have lived, and I know the struggles that they actually struggle with.
Yeah.
So, and my vulnerability and my transparency, and being that I know who I am, and I live who I am unapologetically, that just empowers other people to be able to do that too. So that's why they work with me, because fuck that, I'm awesome. Have you met me?
Yeah.
If you haven't met me yet, when you meet me, you're gonna be like, I want that.
Woo! That was a drop, mic drop. Poof. Yeah, absolutely. And what about you, Monica? So what is your client's pathway working with you, and who would you have around?
Yeah, so the favorite people that I love working with are people like you and Yo, right? You guys are passionate about helping people tap into their highest version of themselves. I like to call it the healthy, wealthy, filled living space is what you guys kind of help in. And so those people who are actually helping people in that space, whether they're life coaches or business coaches or branding experts or networkers who are bringing people together, all of them kind of help people in a lot of ways tap into that healthy, wealthy, fulfilled living. And I love to support them. I love being able to spend time with them, helping them figure out what exactly is happening in their business and in their life that will make it easier for them to go out and impact the world. Because I believe in the wholesale version of helping the world. If I can help someone like Yo, who's going to go out and change millions of people's lives with her program, then I am going to exponentially do that when I have not just Yo, but millions of people that I help as well. So we can change the world. We can do it together. And I want to be a part of that journey for people who are really trying to go out and impact change in the world by being able to support them through our collaborative learning community with co-working and courses and conferences and collaboration projects and pop-up masterminds and all the fun things that we get to do together to support each other through the hard work, the lonely work of being a change maker. Most of us are doing it alone, and we do not have to do it alone. We can do it better together.
Absolutely. Well, I love that. That's super cool. So now let me know, you're both very much working exactly as what you said, Monica, to help change thousands of people's life and millions in the long prospective, output there. And so what do you see where we are heading out? It's a little bit outside of your business realm, but how do you see the world coming out as we're hitting 2023 in a couple of months? So how do you see the impact that you can have in the world in the year that's coming, just moving through, in my opinion, moving out of COVID and into the new normal. So how do you see the world changing that way? So either one of you, raise your hand and go. Oh, me. Oh, me. Oh.
Well, truthfully, um, the pandemic was a blessing. It was the best blessing we could have ever had. We all needed a reset and asked for it over and over and over again. And I know you might be thinking, sitting there going, wait a minute, we didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to be in a global pandemic, but we did. How many of us said, if I could just add more days to my week, if I could just have more time, if I could just do things differently, and never did, right? So it felt like there was this universal shift for all of us to be able to do our lives differently. And so now that we are in this space of coming out of the collective timeout, right? We all got sent to our room to think about what we're doing with our lives. And we're coming out ready to play again. If those of us who remember lessons from what we learned in the pandemic and our time alone can take that out into the world is actually going to be a substantially better place for us to live. If we take those things of, I'm going to be more intentional about my time and who I spend that time with and the places that I go, if we really kind of take on these problems that bubbled to the surface during that time that we were all put in front of us, the systemic issues and just the pain that people were having, and we say, you know what, it's not okay that you were in pain before the pandemic. The pandemic showed us what kind of pain we're having, and now we're going to help you work through, or we're going to try to work through this together, so that we can get to the other side. Then we actually can change the world for the better, for it to be a healthy space for everyone to live in. But if we decide to go back to status quo and how things were before, which a lot of the times people want to go to, they're nostalgic about the past. But I always say, when you're nostalgic about the past, you forget about all of the learnings that you got before you got to this place. And that's a wealthier place to be, to have that new knowledge, right? So if you can say the past was great, but my future can be better, and work towards that, then life will be good. But ultimately, we all have to decide that we aren't going to go for the status quo, that we are going to be intentional about how we spend our time, whether it's with the people that we love, or the places that we love, or the things that we love. Be more intentional about that. I think everyone can come out of this pandemic stronger, more vibrant, more excited, and life can be good for all of us. We can get rid of some of the things that don't allow us to have the serenity, and we can not lean in on some of those bad habits that we've created because we weren't dealing with the problem at hand. So I think I'm hopeful, because so many people got that shift. I'm just hoping there's enough of us who got that shift so that we can help others who haven't got that shift yet to come over to the other side.
Yeah, that's super cool, because I like what you've said, and it goes with what I say in a sense, like it's all good, because regardless of what we used to do, regardless of what happened in the last 2 years, we can't change it and we can't go back. You know, as much as the good old days, well, the good old days are gone, you know?
Yeah.
And now we can just move forward, live today to the fullest. Like, today is the best day of my life. Like, if you look around and all the beauty that we have today, like it's not even like next week or next year it's going to be better. No, today is the best day that we can have. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, one of my quotes that we have in the program, the very first quote that we share is, you'll never be the same no matter what you do. And that concept of, I cannot be the person I was 10 minutes ago because I have new information right now. But that means whatever pain I had 10 minutes ago, I don't have to have right now either. Right. And so it's this idea of, we're constantly unfolding into the better versions of ourselves. And if we can lean into that, that's way easier than being like, oh my gosh, I'm not the same person, and freaking out that you're not the same. Lean into it. Be excited that you're growing into a new person.
Change is exciting.
Yes, it is.
Woo! And Yo, what do you have to add on that?
Oh God, not much. I agree with everything Monica said, and you. But I would just say that I think for 2023, it'll depend on each individual person. Like for me, I plan on riding this cloud all the way through. Like 2022 was Discover the You, right? So 2023 is all about me, like really just building on what I've already created from pandemic times until now. And I think if people are stuck in the past, they're going to stay stuck in the past until, unfortunately, some kind of pain point pushes them forward. Or if they're on this train of success and excitement and new adventures, it'll continue in 2023 with just a brand new fiscal year to celebrate it in. And like you, Denise, I'm all about the shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's always too late. So those who are like, oh, I should have, and I could have, and I would have, but it's always too late. So just what can we do now? You know, what's the next step forward to give you that pleasure and that joy that everybody deserves to have? And it just depends on each individual as far as how 2023 is going to look. But I agree with both of y'all on what y'all said.
Wonderful. So now on the more lighter side. So I want to know, now that we solve all the problems of the world, so be yourself and be happy today, and you can do it. Here we go. And so what is your spookiest adventure that you might have had around Halloween? So something that might happen to you that really spooked the 𝙬𝙬 out of you. Yeah, yo, go ahead.
I've got a spooky. I don't know if it's around Halloween or not, but I got a spooky. It was way back today. I was 18 years old, and I was just got married, and I was pregnant with my oldest baby, and I went off to college for the first time, and I was staying in the dorm. And I had always grew up in church. You know, I grew up going to church 3 days a week, usher board, children's choir, you know, fans. And I grew up in church, but I had not had a relationship with the Lord. I didn't really know what all this stuff was about. So I met this young pastor in college, and he was telling me about, you know, Lucifer being the prettiest angel in heaven. He got casted out and that kind of stuff. And angels and demons exist and everything. I was like, oh, really, really, really? And so he's like, yeah, yo, you can pray. You can just ask to see an angel. You can ask to see an angel. And I was like, really? So I went home to my dorm that night. I'm all excited. At the time, I would get on my knees to pray. So I was on my knees, saying my prayers for the night. And I was like, oh, God, you know, I would love to see an angel. Ooh, I would love to see an angel. And all of a sudden, I felt this ickiness behind me, right? I just felt this darkness. Something's going on. And I was like, so I don't know what this is. I don't like it. So without opening my eyes, I climbed up. I found my pillow. I crawled in my bed. I covered my sheets up, and I fell asleep. Now, it wasn't until decades later that I realized, because I didn't specify what type of angel I wanted to see, I could have easily been visited by an angel of the underworld. I was like, I didn't say, Lord, let me see an angel of God. I said, see an angel. So to this day, I was like, it felt so real, like something was behind me, scared the fuck out of me. But anyway, that's my spookiest. And my Halloween, the spookiest I got.
Yeah, and I can just imagine that, being 18 years old and praying to see an angel, and all of a sudden you got that feeling that even the monster sneaking out behind you. I said, well, sorry I asked, you gotta go now.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean it. No more. Well, that's a good one. Monica.
Oh, it's hard because the things that scare me are not spooky. The things that scare me are not spooky. I mean, I have had, you know, many encounters with people from who were either passing or on their way to passing, as and that's been kind of my entire life. I've had encounters in that way, but those don't ever feel spooky to me. I think probably the recesses of my brain are more spooky than the actual underworld. But I have a spooky encounter that was not necessarily ghostly, but just really, really, really like crazy interesting. So one night I had a dream, and the dream was that I was like going to the airport, and I had my daughter, who now is 15. At the time that I had the dream, she was probably like 14 or 13. And we were running through the airport, and she was in a stroller, but she was big, like a big kid in a stroller. And I'm like running through the airport, trying to get to the gate, and the flight attendant closes the door and say, no, you can't get on the flight. And I'm like begging and pleading and like, please help me. Please, please, please just let me get on the flight. And they're like, okay, fine. They let me in. And when I get on the airplane, there's like like all people, and like the plane is like bigger than, no, dreams are weird. And so like the plane was bigger than usual, and everyone was dancing, and they were like having a whole party, and I was just trying to get to my seat, like, oh my gosh, this is so weird, well, dancing everywhere. And then the stranger comes up to me and is like, oh my gosh, I'm talking all close to me, and then hugs me. And this was like right at the beginning of the pandemic, so I was like having the heebie-jeebies of this stranger like hugging me, and I wake up like, oh my gosh, weirdest dream. So I wake up and I tell my family like the dream that I had. And it just so happened that that day we were actually going to fly to Ohio. And so I tell them this whole dream. I'm like, oh my God, I had the weirdest dream. Here's what happened in my dream. And when I tell you, all of the elements of that dream actually happened. So we're racing across town. We get stuck in traffic, and we were like pushing ourselves late to the airport. And then when we get there, me and my daughter are running across the airport so that we don't miss getting on the flight. And as soon as we go to the area to board, there was like a bachelorette party, or like a co-ed bachelorette party. And they're all like, hey, and they're like drinking, and like they're like loud and boisterous, and they're like all in front of us. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. And then we get on the plane, and the flight attendant has to tell they sit on the plane with like right around us, because, you know, Southwest, anyone can sit anywhere. So they're all sitting around us, and they're like literally drinking on the plane. And the flight attendant comes over several times and says, if you can't have outside alcohol on the plane, if I have to come back over here, I'm going to escort all of you off the plane. Like they were really having a party. And we're sitting there, and there's this guy who comes over, and he like has no mask on, and he's like really close talking. And me and my daughter are like leaning as far as we possibly can into our seats to the window, because it was like so much. And then my daughter turns and looked at me, and she goes, "You're a witch. This is all your fault. This is all your fault. You had that dream, and all of the things in your dream actually happened."
Pretty much. Yeah, that's really weird.
I didn't do it. She's like, "I'm convinced you are a witch. Like, you know things you're not supposed to know." And I was like, I have no idea.
It's really spooky.
That's the spookiest thing that I think I can come up with, because yeah, that was like eerily creepy. But I kind of feel like it was like the universe kind of like letting me know, like, you're okay, you're good, you'll be fine. Because we were really conservative when it came to the pandemic. And so we were like really observing a lot of the like spatial things and all of that. And so someone being like overly kind of flailing their bodily fluids in our direction in any kind of a way, or like, you know, coughing or anything like that, was like kind of freaky for us. And so I think it was like the universe being like, these are things that are going to happen. You've experienced them once. You'll be fine. You'll get through this. And like, but yeah, that was pretty spooky.
Nice. Well, for me, it's kind of weird. It's not a big story. Is last Thursday here in Vancouver, I had quite a few meetings in the morning, and I was starting to feel like Zoom fatigue. I don't know if any of you that are watching Zoom sometimes, like, you just like, I just can't do this anymore. I need a break. So I went to take a bio break, and I was away from my desk, and I was wishing like, oh, I wish I could just take the rest of the day off. You know, I still had 3-4 meetings coming up, and I was like, oh. And as I say that, all of a sudden, it was around 2:00 in the afternoon, 2:30, and all of a sudden, I hear like the things are flickering, the lights are flickering, and I hear like the fridge start and stop, and I was like, what the hell's going on? All of a sudden, it's all dark. And I was like, okay. And I heard lots of like boom, 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 like rambunctious sound, right? So I walk onto my patio, which facing the alley, because that's where our electricity come from. And I'm on the floor, so I can see the trees, and I can see the power. What do you call that? Those big things where power comes from. Transformers. So I look at this one because it's the main one that bring the power in, and it's fine. Then I turn that way, and I see flame, and I see I see like a fire, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And I see a big branch that fell on the power lines. And then the branch was on fire and the line was down. And I was like, then I went in, called 911, and the lady on the phone, we know, we've got call, we know, we're on our way. Almost like, stop calling people. But then I created the power outage, and I had the afternoon and the evening off because the power didn't come back until I went to bed. Like, it wouldn't come back at 9 o'clock, and then
Nice.
put the house to sleep, and then I went to bed. And I was like, ooh, the power of my brain. I can create branches falling on power lines so that I can take the rest of the day off. I was like, okay, that's spooky, but I like it,
I love that. That's so funny.
Yeah, these are pretty interesting things. So, so do you ladies have any plans for the evening? Any trick or treating or?
Not me directly. The grandkids will probably do something, and I'll either force myself to tag along or be invited, waiting for the invitation. If not, I'm gonna be like, "Where y'all going?" Because Yammie wants to see costumes. So, but no special plans. This was my big Halloween event.
Yeah, I actually have some trick or treating to do. My daughter's never too old to trick or treat, so we'll be taking her out and a couple other family members as well, so that we can have a good time. Just kind of showing off our outfits on the promenade. That how people back in the day used to promenade to show off their outfits. I feel like that's what we do when we go trick or treating. It's less for the candy and more for like, look at me, I'm in costume. Do you see what I'm wearing? I'm so cool. So we'll be doing that tonight with kids.
Nice. For me, I'm just zooming, and then I have a big event coming up. For those that are watching that are in Vancouver, I'm organizing an expo for the French Chamber of Commerce, the Vancouver, and so I'm working a lot towards that until November 9th. So that'll be part of my evening, is continuing on the preparation and getting ready and all that stuff. So keep the camp going and moving forward and getting stuff done. And that's going to be exciting. We have over 40 exhibitors. We have 4 speakers. So that are going to be on the stage giving conference and all that. So that's really exciting. I really look forward to that event. So if you want more information, if you're in Vancouver, give me. Everybody's welcome. It's not just for Francophone. The exhibitors are Francophone, but they all speak English. And we're inviting the whole population of the world to come and join us. But we're not on Zoom, so you have to come to Vancouver.
Oh, boo.
Yeah.
Yo, we'll have to start working on those plane tickets.
Yeah, we're coming. We're coming. It's going to happen. We're going to make it to Canada.
You're welcome. Anytime.
We're coming soon, that's for sure.
All right. So before we wrap this up, I'm going to get you all to come one after the other and give us like your favorite tips of the day, like things that, how would you like as an activator and as an igniter, like what would you have the next little tips, the tip that will change someone's life? So I'll start with Monica, because you're the one that came up as I did it.
Just, we can do it. Remember that you don't have to go it alone. And so it's so important to surround yourself with an amazing tribe. I know Denise and Yo are part of my amazing tribe, and they keep me even when I want to quit. They're great at saying, I get it. It's hard. How about you try quitting tomorrow? And every day they'll say, you should try quitting tomorrow. And then it keeps me going. And so if you are feeling like, it's hard to keep going, or it's hard to do what you're doing, just surround yourself with amazing, beautiful people like Yo and Denise, and have that cheerleading corner there for you to keep going, because we can do it, and we can do it together.
Woo! That's awesome. Now, Yo, the floor is yours.
Just so you know, laughter truly is the best medicine. And not just today, but spend time every day laughing, whether that be pull up a YouTube video. If you're a cat person, like to laugh at cats, or babies who like to laugh at themselves, just do something to bring that laughter into your body, because it actually it increases your metabolism, it strengthens your flow, and it's a good thing to do just to give yourself a little jolt of joy. So with that being said, let me leave you with a joke. Okay, so which one is larger, Mr. Bigger, Mrs. Bigger, or their baby? Which is larger, Mr. Bigger, Mrs. Bigger, or their baby? It's the baby, because he's a little bigger.
Best joke teller on earth, I tell you.
So since I have you here, Yo, is there anything that you, how people can reach you? And I'll share that in the show notes. But how can people reach you if they want to have more funny bad joke? And what do you have any gift for people to share with?
First of all, my jokes are hilarious. Don't hate on that. Don't hate. Secondly, yes, you can reach me at www.𝙎𝙧𝙞𝙬 𝙎𝙧𝙞𝙬. And if you scroll to the bottom, you can be a part of my BYO Boosters. It's a private Facebook group where you are able to come in and get inspired, motivated, positivity all across the board. No depressive dance and no negative dances are allowed. So reach me there. And then my PDF for you is 37 ways to say yes to you. It's another form of self-care, which also includes laughing every day. So there's 36 other tips on there for you to say yes to you, because you are the most important you. And it's not buy, it's be yourself every day.
Woo! Awesome. I like that. And Monica, what about you?
Oh, so it's very simple. You can connect with me at MonicaM.Henderson.com. There you'll be able to find out all of the wonderful things that we do in the community and what we're working on. But you'll also get to connect to all of my social media and schedule a chat with me, because it's so important for you to just have a conversation with someone. And I am here in that to help you do so. So schedule a 20-minute chat. Let's hear about what you got going on in your life and your business, and let's see how we can support you in doing that at MonicaM.Henderson.com.
Wow, that's super cool. So what I'd like to do right now is adjust my ad, and I'll take a screenshot because I think we're awesome. And then we can, hold on. Let's just give me a sec. I'll do that again. 1, 2, 3, smile. There you go. So now I got that. That's super cool. So we can share that and say that how much we're awesome. And awesome. That's great. Well, I was so happy that you jumped in, ladies, and that you came and have fun with me and dress up. And, it's Halloween and life is so short. We never know what can come tomorrow. So may as well have fun today and laugh and have a great time. So I think amongst us today, we had an awesome time. And I'm so happy that you were here. So thank you very much.
It's all good.
So you stay there, ladies. I'll be right back. So thank you so much for those that have listened to It's All Good. Lucas here for a chat. And I'm sure you were surprised to see all the wonderful new faces that we've had today. So don't miss out. Every week, same time, noon Pacific, I'm here, and I always have awesome guests that are there coming with me to share their greatness, to share their awesomeness, so that we can have a lot of fun and learn from one another. So I wish you a safe and happy Halloween day. Stay safe, get the kids out there, and don't eat too much candies because that's not good for your blood sugar and your hips. Adult chocolate is like it skipped my stomach and goes right to my hip. But once a year is not so bad. So until next time, be kind to one another, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.